So my name's Nathan, and I started a thing about 4 years ago called the Guardian Project, which was meant to turn mobile technology into our guardians instead of our captors or our adversaries or our enemies. I've worked in mobile and security and encryption and metadata and all these things for a long time. And have been an activist on the ground in various anti-globalization and working for international rights, as well as just the more recent sort of anti-surveillance movements. So we work with the Tor project, for instance, and we brought Tor to smartphones. It's an app called Orbot, has 2 million users around the world. We build really secure chat apps that help with stopping metadata, and they call Chat Secure. That's what it says. So I'm here tonight to share two sides of our work. One side is another potential project that you can join, and then the other side is some solutions or tools or components or Legos for other projects. And I'm already spinning in my head how we can help out with other projects. So it's up to you maybe to combine and mash up. So I have a presentation that's just 4 slides at tinyurl.com/justpaycodesign. JustPayCodesign. So we have this really tinyurl. Yeah. Orbot. So we have this really cool project called Informacam, which is actually sort of like using surveillance for yourself.
Can you repeat the tiny URL?
tinyurl.com/justpay, JUST-pay codesign. JustPayCodesign. So we realized a while ago that all your smartphones have all these crazy sensors in it, right? Not just like GPS, but you can sense all the cell towers in the area and all the Wi-Fi and all the Bluetooth and how hot it is and how fast you're running and the gravity. And there's all of this data around you that's invisible. And so what we built was a camera software that captures the invisible wavelengths of energy around you along with the visible, right? So it takes a picture or video while also sensing all of this data. And the idea is to say, let's use surveillance for good, right, as a way to defend ourselves, as opposed to, a big problem with surveillance is the data is taken from us, and the only people that get to see it are the government, right? And so the idea of saying, hey, there's cases where surveillance could be helpful, and let's use it on our behalf. So we have this really complicated thing that's awesome and a cool engine, but we started working with a group in the south of the U.S. that works with migrant farm workers, and they said what happens is people go and they're often undocumented or they don't speak English very well, and they go and work on a farm for the week and they pick, and then the farmer says, oh, you were here 3 days, here's your money, and in fact they were there 5 days, and they try to go and work with the legal aid group to prove this in court, and there's no proof. And it's very common, and there's threats of violence, and there's all sorts of issues. And so we said, what if we could use a cell phone as a punch card to defend your, say I'm at work, right, to check in. And so we created a system. There's some ads that sort of show our idea of like myth versus fact or truth versus fact and how you can verify truth. But the basic idea are these screenshots where you check in at work, you do kind of the selfie photo, and then you check out when you're done working. And behind all of this is this really complex sensor system and cryptography system that we think can really stand up in court, right? That can say, this would happen at this date and time, and is evidence that you were there and that it can't be faked because there's an overwhelming amount of data. We also have ways that you can document just photos of workplace abuses or other things going on. We have ways to tap into a legal aid number that you can call. And then all of this uploads securely and anonymously through Tor. Well, not anonymously, but without being tracked through something like Tor. In fact, it is Tor. And then there's a back-end database that looks pretty scary if this was like the government system that's tracking us, but in fact it's the lawyers that are representing the workers have access to all of this data, and they could print out a page that says, here is Jose Martinez's work log for this orange field on this day, and take it to the judge. And we're really excited about it because we co-designed with the migrant workers, and we gave them the first version, and it sucked, and the battery life was terrible, and they didn't know how to use it. And we redesigned it to this beautiful, like, 4 screens, check in, check out. And it runs now on like a $100 phone, and there's no networks in the field. So we've already been through this process. And I think what we want is to take this app and this concept and apply it to other fields, other industries, maybe to a surveillance tracking system. And you can actually detect some Wi-Fi data. It's not just the visual data. It's all of these other signals in the air. So we think this kind of surveillance for good system on smartphones could have a lot of implications, and I would love this to be used in another project or extended elsewhere. Or if you just want to work with migrant farm workers, we already have a team doing that. Beyond that, at the Guardian Project website, which is guardianproject.info, you'll find all of our apps and our code for things like, protecting from traffic or network surveillance and encrypting data. And we have an app called ObscuraCam that blurs faces. And it's too much to talk about, really. But if you're doing a mobile project that requires you to protect information, right? So working with domestic violence and stalking, I mean, a lot of what Andrew talked about, and I know Andrew well, and we talk about this, is how do you protect someone's device and information that's on the device. So as an example, when you take photos in this app, it doesn't go into your when you take your check-in photos for your work, or when you're documenting something with our app, it doesn't go into the photo gallery on the phone. So that means if you get stopped by somebody, they won't find the photo. Or if your phone is hacked by a virus, they won't see the photo. So there's a lot of little tricks we already know about how to take a picture on a phone and not have it leak into other areas of the phone, which is a big problem. So I want to offer this project and code an idea, and then say, I have a whole team of developers that can help you make your stuff work better on iOS and Android and make it more secure. And we have a lot of that in place. I'm in Boston now, which is where I'm in Brookline is where I live, but I'm over on this side of the river quite a bit. We also have a team in New York. Harlow Holmes is our lead developer. She's wonderful, and she's a Knight Mozilla Fellow right now in New York at New York Times, but she's available. We have our legal group that we're working with, the Georgia Legal Society, GLSP, and we have designers and a whole team of people that would be interested in applying the Informacam project, the Just Pay phone project, to other areas. That's my pitch.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Questions?
Software developers to help you, or
No, we have plenty of developers.
okay.
We're here to help you make stuff for real, I guess. And I mean, if you're a designer or developer, you can join us and take our existing stuff and build on it. But I'm more offering building blocks and resources to help you. So if you wanted to help ACLU build a surveillance app, you shouldn't start from zero.
So one possibility, I think, unlike most of the other potential partners, it sounds like there's a possibility that you and folks from Guardian would join one of the other design teams, maybe.
Yeah.
As one possibility, in addition to the specific work tracking app that you're also interested in, or other applications of the tools you already have.
Yeah, and I think the work tracking one is interesting. Just the idea of taking super complex, sophisticated crypto stuff and simplifying it down to like a cheap phone in a field at a farm. So I like that's a problem in serving marginalized people. But I think we can end up, probably we're just useful in helping any mobile thing be safer and more well designed.
I just want to do a quick plug for the Guardian project applications that I use on my phone, and that they're incredibly usable, and that there's this rhetoric around crypto tools not being usable and being opaque and whatever else, and they've done a beautiful job of making it perform exactly like whatever it's replacing, but also showing when something is secure and when it's not. secure being a relative term, of course, but it's pretty great.
That's cute.
Cute.
Like, Android going like this when you're secure.
Chat secure is
Cute is
going to be
good.
so much more cute this year, don't worry. It's not being called chat secure. All right, thank you so much. And yeah, I'm around and available in any sort of mobile questions, whether I get chosen or not.
Thank you.